Evil, Jesus replied, evil is a relativity concept. It arises out of the observation of the imperfections which appear in the shadow cast by a finite universe of things and beings. As such a cosmos obscures the living light of the universal expression of the eternal relativities, the eternal realities of the infinite one. Infinite one, both words are capitalized. Potential evil is inherent in the necessary incompleteness of the revelation of God as a time-space limited expression of infinity and eternity. The fact of the partial in the presence of the complete constitutes relativity of reality, creates necessity for intellectual choosing, and establishes value levels of spirit recognition and response. The incomplete and finite concept of the infinite, which is held by the temporal and limited creature mind, is, in and of itself, potential evil. I'm going to read that last line one more time. The incomplete and finite concept of the infinite, capital I this time, which is held by the temporal and limited creature mind, is, in and of itself, potential evil. That's saying just trying from here to understand God, the infinite, creates the potential for evil, because you're trying to understand something that is absolutely complete from a place of incompleteness. So, okay, and on it goes. But the augmenting error of unjustified deficiency in reasonable spiritual rectification of these original inherent intellectual disharmonies and spiritual insufficiencies is equivalent to the realization of actual evil. All static, dead concepts are potentially evil. The finite shadow of relative and living truth is continually moving. Okay, let's look at that for just a minute. Okay, I'll come back to it. Static concepts invariably retard science, politics, society, and religion. Static concepts may represent a certain knowledge, but they are deficient in wisdom and devoid of truth. But do not permit the concept of relativity so to mislead you that you fail to recognize the coordination of the universe under the guidance of the cosmic mind and its stabilized control by the energy and spirit of the Supreme. Okay. Let me read over that one more time and I'll be right back. Okay. So again, the easiest way that I can relay this, and I'm really grossly dumbing this down, but in its simplistic form, as my mind is able to comprehend it, what it says is that from our place of limited understanding, of totality of what is truly infinite, or God, we always perceive an error. Every time we perceive an error, we create, even the act of trying to perceive creates the potential for error, which then they have called error evil. You know, people who judge error will call it evil. They have deemed it as bad. Acted on it or not. You know, some act on it and some don't. But so potential evil, right? And then it goes into, so it says the originally inherent intellectual disharmonies, and spiritual insufficiencies. That's where we are. That is the reality of being in this body on this level. And even when we get to 5D, we are still going to have the same challenge of overcoming our error in perception. So the inherent intellectual disharmonies and spiritual insufficiencies. So not being able to blend our intellect and our spiritual understanding, that's one issue. The other is they're flawed anyway. Okay, so our intellectual understanding is flawed. Our spiritual sufficiency is flawed. So no matter how we put it together, the potential for error is there. And it says that that those two things working together are the equivalent to the realization of actual evil, which means if they're working together and acted on, so insufficiency, disharmony of intellect, and spiritual insufficiency, when they are working together, the process then, because we create, is a realization or manifestation of what we would see as evil in the world. I hope that helps. Some of this is a little difficult. Reads like stereo instructions. That's how I say it. Let's see but do not permit the concept of relativity so to mislead you that you fail to recognize the coordination of the universe under the guidance of the cosmic mind and its stabilized control by the energy and spirit of the Supreme. So even though we see evil everywhere, it says, don't be misled to thinking that this is not divine order. It is. But again, we'll refer back to what Jesus taught in one of the other videos that I read that said, because you were given free will, because you were given the choice, the potential for error, the potential for evil, the potential for choosing other than love creates these unpleasant things that we see. It's not God doing it. It is just the natural order of having the choice. And also operating from this place of deficiency. So again, hearkening back to the importance of constantly trying to be living as love, connecting with love, understanding ourselves as divine. That is so important because the potential for error is so great with our limited understanding. And so we really have to devote as much attention to the concept of us in love and then living from that place. So that was a little complicated. I'm gonna leave that here, and I'm sure that throughout this different things will come up that will explain it further, but I really think it was explained the best in the other one where Jesus said that when we were given the choice, just having the choice created the potential for evil or error. Because if we knew exactly what was right to do in every moment, we wouldn't have to exercise our free will to hearken to love, to hearken to God, to listen for that which is right. And this whole experience would be for nothing, because what good would it do? So we needed to be given the choice. And what is the choice? They say it's love or fear. I might take that a step further and say the choice is to seek love first. That's your choice. Are you going to seek the loving response? Are you going to seek that which is right by God in your decision? Or are you going to just do what you want to do? So it is an exercise. You're exercising your free will to choose, even to attempt to align yourself with God. or not. In peace and love, may you be blessed.